How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Continues to Tick, where here we are yet again for another week of progress into the documentation of growing a nice sized dividend portfolio. For those that are new, or even just as a reminder, I started my dividend growth portfolio journey on July 20th of 2020. I'm currently 25 years old. I work as a registered nurse, about 2 years removed from college now. I also have a long-term girlfriend and a puppy. We rent a one-bedroom apartment in the surrounding Bay Area here in California. We have no kids, no mortgage, and I don't have any car payments. I still drive a 2000 Toyota Camry. It's 20 years old, approaching 21 years old. It rattles when I drive it. It makes weird noises, but I'm driving it till it dies, and it's saving me money right now. And I love it, honestly. Every once in a while, I like giving the basis of my current condition, as this helps paint a picture of my overall state and just my financial ability. But overall, the way I tend to see it, I'm just getting started into adulthood, practically just getting started into life, right? That's why I'm really excited about my channel and my documentation of this dividend growth portfolio and my overall goal to retire at 50 or by 50 comfortably. And the keyword there is comfortably. Anyhow, I hope you're all doing well. If you happen to enjoy this video, do press the like button. It does help, and if you look forward to any future content I will be putting out, do subscribe. Like I was saying about adulthood and life, I'm just getting started, and this channel is no different. And I look forward to what may come with this channel's journey as well. This last week was a rather tough week overall in the market, unless you were investing into Gamestop, of course, AMC, or even Dogecoin. I won't be diving into any of that news, as if you're any bit into finances as I am, you'd probably heard enough of this already, with all of the Wall Street bets and the corporate hedge fund managers and investing platform CEOs takes on all of this. So instead, the topic for my video this week will be why, as a guy in his 20s, I'm boringly investing into strictly dividend paying stocks when I could rather be investing for growth and fishing for giant gains into the giant sea of next season's big growth stocks. And then following this, like we always do, I'll close out the video by revealing my portfolio and how it wavered over this last week. So let's begin. So as a 25-year-old that works hard for his money, as I know we all do, I like sure bets, or things that come to as close of a for sure bet or return as there can be, especially when it comes to my money. Dividend investing, as long as you invest into aged and proven companies or blue chip companies. Although boring, it's close to a sure bet of a return as you can get. And many companies exist like this, paying dividend after dividend to shareholders for years and decades, even half centuries. But again, it's boring. It's not Tesla, AMC, or GameStop. It's not Shake Shack, Neo, or Grubhub. But when it comes to my money, I like investments that are boring, because I associate this with quote-unquote safety and the word conservative. When you think of gambling or playing things with higher stakes, you usually don't picture either of these words, but you do it anyways for the excitement and the chance for a higher reward. And although a dividend is not promised, even from a blue chip company, further promised is a growth stock paying a dividend in the future, or a growth stock exhibiting positive return after holding it for many years. Look at GoPro, for example. And sure, I'm stereotyping a bit, but the overall problem for me with growth stock investing, and why I don't do it particularly, is because it's too exciting. It gives me a psychological rush that, in my opinion, isn't always healthy. Sure, you can be a conservative growth investor, but it's quite difficult to remain disciplined with gains like the ones experienced in the best growth stocks nowadays, especially for the long haul. And maybe it's just me, but when I invested in Tesla over a year ago, for example, and saw hundreds of percentage gains over the span of days or months, that feeling of power was great, amazing even. But to be continually attainable, that's a question mark I don't know. That's why one of the things that I see when investing for growth is that it's similar to playing with fire. It reminded me of swiping my finger in the flame of a lighter. It's fun, right? It's fun to see how many times or how long you can hold your finger in the flame. But as you do this, it increases your perception of confidence. It makes you want to do this more. Maybe get a little riskier. But that also increases the risk of adverse outcomes. And it only takes a second to get burnt. And seeing how these growth companies swing nowadays, well, it's hard to watch my money do the same thing. For me personally, investing for dividends is boring, and it takes a long time to display something worthwhile. But here I am in my 20s, with time on my side, and if you can make it through the time with the discipline and the consistency, shall I even say it, the drip? After 20 to 25 years, you may very well have $1 million plus portfolio, paying you tens of thousands of dollars a year for doing nothing other than holding the stocks. And on top of this, not needing to sell a single share in this portfolio to live off of in retirement. In this scenario, you'd be able to have your cake and eat it too. And with that said, let's jump right into the portfolio review for this week and head into closing out this week's video. So here we are in Jesse's cash flow portfolio, $15,546 this week. If you remember last week, we were around $15,300. And take note, I did invest $500 like I always do into this week. So like I was saying earlier, it was a down week. When I show you down into the sectors, you'll see the red C. But first, here we are, all time, at a return of 11%. This is including a $725 market gain with a $131 earned dividends gain. It equates to an overall gain of $857. No longer at the $1,000 mark, but that's just how the market has to go sometimes. It doesn't always go up indefinitely. It will have to come down. And with this down week, it did put me in a position that made it somewhat tempting to just invest a little more. But I stayed steady. I'm holding steady for right now. I'm trying to push any extra money that I have into saving for real estate. I'm trying to really position myself for purchasing a home, in these upcoming years. And that's kind of my priority right now. I already have a game plan with this dividend portfolio of investing $500 every week. And sure, there's going to be down weeks that are going to be tempting, to invest a little more. But unless it really goes down further than this, I will probably still hold steady and just keep saving for real estate. But here we are in the 1 week, a negative 2%, a red of $333. So it kind of wiped out this week's deposit pretty much. And that's going to happen from time to time. The good thing is I still got paid dividends, $2.01 in dividends this last week. Not another knock against growth stocks, but when the markets aren't working for you, even in a dividend growth portfolio, you'll still get paid dividends. The only time you really get hit twice as hard is if the market's going down and then the companies you've invested in are slashing their dividends or cutting them completely. But 2020 was a crazy, crazy year. And sure, the remnants may continue in these upcoming years moving forward, of the damage that has been done to these companies. But every single company I've held in 2020, or that I have in this portfolio currently, hasn't slashed or decreased their dividend at all. And I think that speaks at least a decent amount of volume moving into the future. But if I take you down here, down below, you can see the red C that I was talking about. Red everywhere, except for real estate, which barely is hanging on. And I think if I was to click on it, it's still pretty red, but the companies that were good outdid the actual real estate. So it's actually interesting to see. But if you're interested in seeing every holding that I have individually, there'll be a link to sharing my pie. I usually don't go into depth into sharing which stocks I hold or what my holdings are. And that's primarily just because I'm not a financial advisor. I did my research in choosing these companies, but I don't want to sway anybody in any particular way. If you would like to do that though, you can always check out that link and see what I'm holding. And with this said, let's go into the activity for this past week. So here we are on January 27th to kick it off. We got paid dividends from Comcast, 50 cents and then 19 cents. Also on the 27th of January, we had a $500 deposit with a $1.34 snowball. Last week we had a $13 snowball, if you remember. This week a $1 snowball. Snow is snow, right? It's not always going to be great. It's not always going to be huge. $13 was, I think, the biggest one I've had. But I like to say snow is snow, and I'm accepting of it all. Here on January 29th, we had 90-cent payout and 16-cent payout from McGrath RentCorp, and dividends are dividends. Even though this overall last week was a red week, a down week, a bad week, we still got paid dividends. And at the end of the day, that's one of the biggest reasons why I chose this strategy of investing for dividends and continue to invest for dividends. This is the strategy that I chose. This is the one that I'm sticking with for the long haul. I sleep comfortably every night knowing that I did my research into everything that I'm holding in this portfolio. Sure, $300 in the red is noticeable, but the whole market's down. It's not just, my portfolio. The whole market is down. And when the whole market goes up, more than likely my portfolio will also follow. And I'm a big fan of dividends. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you are too. The journey is slow, but the progress is being made. We have time on our side. We have a game plan. We're staying consistent. We're staying disciplined. And with time, as it continues to tick, I'm sure we'll end up where exactly we should be and where we need to be and where we want to be. And I'm looking forward to it. And I hope to bring that moment to you on this channel when we get there. This journey won't be stopping anytime soon. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Do subscribe for more videos. Like I said, this journey won't be stopping anytime soon. Stay safe out there. Take care of your loved ones. And I will see you on next week's video. And until then, peace.